Welcome to Bath, or if you're posher than me, Bath. Generally accepted as one of the most well-to-do cities in the UK. I'm here today because a few months ago I came to this place and didn't realise there was such a large homeless problem as there actually is. It's surprising because it's seen as such a well-to-do, wealthy city, and there are people here that are struggling on the streets. I think most people will agree that when they think of Bath, they think of amazing architecture and tourism and a very well-to-do city. The Roman baths there and the amazing Bath Abbey in front of me. But scarcely do they think of homeless people living on the streets and a homeless problem.
Brock.
Oh, Brock.
Brock,
nice to meet you, mate. So you're on the streets, you're living on the streets here in Bath?
Yep.
Yeah, and what's life like on the streets here in Bath? Rough. A lot of people think of Bath as like quite a posh, well-to-do place, but...
There's a lot of wealthy people, but everybody glides by.
Okay, so I've heard this from other people I spoke to today. Because there are so many wealthy people here, they're saying that they're ignoring the homeless more.
It would seem like that.
Yeah.
It would seem like that, yeah,
And
definitely.
How long have you been on the streets here?
15 years.
Really? I spoke to some people outside that it's like the Christian place with the pods.
Yeah,
they house people.
Oh yeah, Julian House. Yeah.
And they've said that the conditions are not good there.
I won't go in there. Their pods are smaller than a cell. Got like yay much room.
Do you smoke?
Yes, I do, mate. Very much so. Thank you.
So you were just saying, Brock, that you don't drink?
No, I don't drink. No. Gave up 20 years ago.
20 years ago. So 20 years off the booze on the streets.
Yeah, 2002, 21 years.
Yeah, so we were just saying off camera, me and Brock, that a lot of people stigmatise the homeless
As alcoholics,
as
yeah.
alcoholics
Yeah.
by default, just by looking
Yeah.
at them. And then you sit here and I can tell by sitting and talking to Brock that he doesn't drink, that he's sober as a judge and has been for 20 years.
I have been.
So folks, don't jump to conclusions when you walk past people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Is there anything that you'd say to the people that watch just about how they should rethink about the homeless?
Judge everybody individually. Take everybody as unique, I suppose.
Cheers, man.
No worries. Have
All
a
the
good
best.
day.
Have a good
Thank you
night,
very
yeah.
much.
My name's Kev.
Kev, nice to meet you,
I've
mate.
been homeless now for about 2.5 years. To be honest, homelessness in Bath, how can I explain it? There's a massive divide, rich and poor.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the way that Bath is. There isn't sort of any middle ground. Homelessness is kind of swept under the carpet, if you get what I mean.
Do you think it's inconvenient for the tourist face of the town as well?
Exactly that. I mean, the council went round a few months back, just literally clearing doorways and clearing up bedding that was left in doorways and stuff, because it didn't look right for the tourist trade. It didn't work, obviously, because there's still a massive homeless crisis in Bath. I moved back from Oxford, where I was working as a chef, to look after my mum, who fell poorly, and I briefly moved in with her, you know, as is, and she passed away, and then I was on the street. And that's how easy it is. And to try and get off the street when you're a single man with a bit of savings, you got to clear your savings first, then it's going through the whole rigmarole of waiting lists and all the rest of it. There is nothing. You get the homeless shelter that will put you up for so many months. You are in a room with no windows, no ventilation.
Is that the one on Manvers Street?
Yep.
Yeah, with the pods.
That's the one. So many people just die in those pods because they give up. Because it's registered charity, you're allowed to go in and look at that as a taxpayer. I wouldn't even put a dog in there. Do you know what I mean? And I advise you to go and have a look. Go and have a look at one of these pods, and you tell me if it doesn't do wonders for your mental health.
Yeah.
I mean, it just collapses. If you're suffering with depression because you're on homeless as well, get put in a pod, mate. You might as well just give it up. You are one step away from being homeless. It's a missed mortgage payment.
Yeah.
It's someone breaking up with you. Do you get what I mean? Give a thought to homeless. Don't just see them as rubbish on the street.
You know,
maybe just give a smile and a say hello. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not about the money.
So I've just come back to the shelter to try and reach out to the staff and any management here that might talk to me and give their side of the story of how hard it must be for them to provide this service for the homeless people in Bath. Obviously this is a free of charge service for the people that use it, and it's incredibly difficult for them to keep on top of the hygiene and the conditions here. Unfortunately, no one was available or willing to speak to me. They're a bit worried about speaking on camera, but I did speak to a gentleman outside who was staying in the shelter, and he's been very positive about his experience here. Basically, yesterday I spoke to a lot of homeless people, and they were quite negative about the conditions here. So, in order to get fair perspective, I thought I'd come here today.
It's actually not too bad here.
Yeah.
Actually. They got a brilliant cleaning crew in the morning. Yeah. They go right through it. I've been here 4 days and it's fine.
Okay.
If you get yourself in here, behave yourself, it's fine.
If you want the help of some kind of institution, there's always some rules and regulations.
This is all free, man. You're not paying for anything, so have a bit of respect. Certain individuals don't. Since I've been here 4 days, there's been, 2, maybe 3 people who've been booted.
So I've really been trying to get in touch with someone from Julian House, which is the company that runs the Manvers Street hostel with the pods in, which keeps coming up in conversations with basically everybody that I talk to. I've very kindly been given the number for a lady called Helen, and Helen is the CEO of Julian's House.
We've been running the hostel down there for a number of decades. It is quite a small confined space, accommodating 20 adults, but it's used as emergency accommodation for the shortest period as possible.
One of the things that came up when I spoke to homeless people who were critical was the pods and the size of the pods.
We had the hostel refurbished and reconfigured to create these more individual spaces to afford people more privacy and dignity, but it's not ideal. The rooms are incredibly small and only really suitable for the short-term use, emergency use, which is what they're intended for.
I completely understand that there are some huge logistical challenges that an organisation like yours must face. So there's an update to the day's journalistic inquiries. So I've been given the go-ahead to go into the shelter and to take a look at these pods. Apparently, because it's a registered charity, I am allowed, like all members of the public are, with an appointment to go and look at these pods.
This is the med centre. We have a doctor in twice a week and a nurse in 3 times a week in the morning. This is the mixed area, so we've got 8 in here. Yeah. They are small, but like I said before to you, this is emergency accommodation. Right, now this is a pod.
This one's empty, yeah?
Yeah, this one's empty. This is ready to go.
So this will be full tonight, yeah?
This will be full.
And this will house 1 person or 2?
1.
1, and what's the top bunk for?
That's just a shelf.
Like
they
to
put
put
their
belongings
bags on, yeah.
Like-
We have air conditioning,
Yeah.
we have fans and that goes on, that's on all the time.
So do the people that are housed here temporarily, do they have to leave during the day?
No.
Or this is their home while they're here?
This is their home while they're here.
Do they have facilities to cook as well?
No, we cook for them. We cook them 3 meals a day.
How long's the waiting list for these pods?
At the moment, there is a waiting list because it's in the winter. Usually we have 3 pods in the summer, and the lighter nights, they tend to choose to stay out in the evening and they're not bothered about coming in. But now it's getting colder, they all want to come in. So there is a waiting list at the moment.
You're happy for me to have filmed that without your facing?
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to show the people. People have been speaking about them, and this is the pod that people speak about.
Yes.
It's a little bit, honestly, I'll say it as I see it, it's a little bit bigger than I was given the impression by the people that were speaking negatively about them. So one of the challenges was security and privacy, and this was the solution.
Yeah.
How many showers are there? 2, yeah?
Well, there's 2 here, and then we've got a shower in the women's area and a toilet in the women's area as well. So it's 3 showers altogether. The food is, fairly basic. It's not a la carte.
A lot of soups, pulses.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you again, Rory, I've worked in hospitality for a lot of my life, and this is a cleaner kitchen than most of those kitchens.
Yeah.
Just wanted to show what the reality was of the inside of this shelter, because it's come up in every single conversation I've had. Sometimes people are really positive, sometimes people are negative about it.
Okay.
I've come in, it's clean, it's calm,
It's always clean.
and you guys are doing your best.
Yeah, we do our best. That's why we work in this field.
Of course, mate, yeah.
Yeah, this is why we do it. We don't do it for the money, put it that way.
I can imagine, yeah. So I've just met this gentleman who is staying at the shelter at the moment, and he's got nothing but positive things to say about it.
I've been on the streets for 5 years. I've been in doorways, being kicked by police. I've had all sorts, and it's beautiful. Honestly, You get food, a roof, the staff are lovely. Honestly, they've sorted me right out. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, you get a pod. I know it's small, but it's got ventilation. Honestly, the staff are amazing.
Yeah.
They are amazing.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you sharing your story for me. Yeah. So there you go, folks. Eventually, I managed to get permission to briefly film a short tour of the site there at the shelter. The manager let me do it. It's quite a clean environment. It seems quite well organised, and the pods, when they're made up initially, they seem quite sheltered, quite safe and small, but for some people, better than being on the streets. The picture that I'm managing to come across now that's emerging is that some people, they just aren't really happy to play by rules and regulations which are necessary to keep law and order and to keep it all running smoothly. They'd much prefer the more lawless, non-conformist lifestyle of the streets. Thanks for joining me on this one. It's took a little bit of journalistic inquiry to get inside those pods in the end, so you guys could take a look and see what life is really like, what options there are for the homeless people here in Bath. Until next time, folks.